So, welcome, guys. We are on what,
Oh,
episode 4 now, right?
four, yeah.
Yeah, for Survival Online 4. So there might or might not be a lot of people here tonight due to my scheduling error. I do apologize, but hopefully people will be in out. I know Emily and Tabitha, I've been emailing them and they said that they might pop in. So
Nice.
that
That'd be
would
dope.
be that yeah, that would be a really good surprise. And then Dar, maybe we'll reach out to Muggsy because Muggsy doesn't want to talk to anyone, to any of us except for
And
Dar.
which is crazy to me.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Okay, so last episode,
Mm-hmm.
and even with Nick's reaction video, and I kind of want to get your take on this because there was a scene where Dar, Muggsy, and Riazo was entering in the chat for the first time, and he was introducing himself into them. And so Muggsy said and then she said that bitch. And then everyone assumed that Muggsy called Mary a bitch, but I really think she was actually talking about Tabitha.
Dude, for
Did you
sure she was talking to Tabitha. I
Yeah,
know
did you
that.
catch that? Because
I kept
everyone thought it was Mary, and I was like, she actually didn't say a name, but she actually freaking hated Tabitha. So I'm
yeah.
like, that wouldn't surprise me if she called her, which is like it shouldn't like you don't need to be that derogatory towards someone, like especially if someone didn't
Mm-hmm.
do anything for you.
Yeah,
But
right,
like
right.
and then in this episode, which we'll get into it, there's a
It starts that
scene.
way at the same damn time, right?
Yeah, well, it gets into it where Riazo is like basically saying to Mary, "Hey, Muggsy called you a bitch," and he was like making up things that she said, but she never even said that. Like she didn't say verbatim
Uh,
what he told Mary, and I was so confused by that conversation. I was like, "What the hell?" So okay, so we're gonna get started, and then we'll just we'll just watch it by piece, and then we'll just like kind of talk about it. And
yeah.
man, the whole thing with like Susan and Jason was just so unfortunate. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. Like now that I've seen it for the first time, because remember like when I talked to you about it
Yeah.
initially,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, I was so confused as to like what the fuck was going on, but I'm
Yeah,
like,
what the angle was for that, because in
yeah.
hindsight, it's all in hindsight, but it's just like why think you can change two people coming on when you have someone that's already kind of, but then it's just like
Yeah.
what was Susan at that time thinking,
Yeah.
was it always going to end up that way? That'd be the question. Did Jason have another way?
Well,
You
see,
know?
that's the one thing is like that I think that's the thing that people need to remember though is that Jason and Susan actually had kind of like an alliance together
Huh?
that they
Mm-hmm.
formed. You and I never had an alliance with her. I don't,
No.
and because she
No.
mentioned it to Emily and Riazo, so they kind of had an alliance as well with her. But you and I never got into like that actual alliance. I think you and I were just more looking out for the team until the merge. So
Mm-hmm.
like all of this like anger that got like geared towards us towards the end, I was like, what?
There was so much, and I think it was just this is where it happened, because it's just like I don't even know why
Yeah.
there was such anguish, and it's just like now every week
Yeah.
we're trying to protect each other, and it's just kind
Well,
of like,
it was because we were talking about like the team, and I'm like, yeah, but I think we even said to her, we're like, hey, until we like do the merge, and then we're kind of like, everyone a man, like everyone's out for themselves, kind of a thing. And that's
mhm.
like that was my mentality the entire time. And then I feel like when this whole thing orchestrated between Mary and Ashley, I was just like, well, that's like kind of out the window now. Like I don't need to like watch out for the people I didn't make an alliance with.
Yes,
And
it's
that's
just
how
like,
I felt with that. That's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's wrong or not, but that's how I felt.
I know, I felt you. It just felt like it just turned into some venom that just went so left, and I was just like,
Yeah.
this is this is some tea right here. This
Well,
is the bomb.
and it was almost like we got blamed for reacting to our teammate getting out.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's not fair to us to like be blamed for just like the reaction of our teammate getting out because like
Mhm.
he was our teammate. So and
Yeah,
we were
and a
like
teammate
we had
that
like this bond.
that was the most blindsided thing because I'm just like a teammate that I think for me and you, it was just kind of like, well, I think we understand where we're going to go with this, and then
Yeah.
it did it, and that was
And I
kind of
felt
like,
and it felt like almost just like, yeah, we were just getting blamed for us just like responding to the way that we did. But
yeah,
like, I think
right,
anyone would have responded that way. Like, come
yeah.
on, bro, you voted our
Mhm.
teammate.
What do you think we're gonna do?
I know. Oh, it's okay, guys. It's fine. But all right, we're gonna get started. Let's see what
The
happens.
Mary thing is so crazy though. I can't wait to get into it, but
Yeah, agreed.
I think
Okay.
all of Mary is like a whole vibe.
It really
It's a whole vibe.
honestly, you never knew where she stood either. Like,
No,
I
at
think she
all.
was still trying to process everything too.
She was in a whole like I'd love to see her reaction to her own reaction.
I
I would
know.
watch that. Like, so what do you think of what you were actually thinking?
Yeah,
Uh,
I would love to see that. Like, hey Mary, what were you thinking here?
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Did
yeah, this is
she tell you what she said about you?
God, this does not want to load right now. See, I'm like on that part where Riazo is like saying, "Hey, Muggsy
hmm
about you," but I'm like, she actually didn't say the name Mary
I
that
had I had voted
heard.
once because she did sometimes have
Uh-huh. Come on, dude.
technical issues which may present a problem like in future challenges. But other than that,
What's going on with my internet right now?
Mine's this.
It's like stuck on this one part. We may have to start here.
Yeah, I saw that.
I had voted Muggsy because she did sometimes have technical issues which
I'm having
may
technical
present a
issues.
problem like in future challenges. But other
Okay, can we go back? Honestly, MVP of who played this game best though, who would you give it to? It has to be for me between like, okay, who would you think was the most
I'm trying not to, I'm thinking what I want to say, but there's a part of me that's like a
who would you
surprise
think
there.
who okay, well let's not say that till after like everything. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I want you to think about who do you think was the most strategic that you would like give the award to of like who strategized the most? And
Oh
then who
yeah.
do you think like played the game like to like the truest of themselves?
Okay.
Think about
Okay.
that. Just think about that.
Then no, I kind of have an idea of the first one. That second one, that's a good one. That is hard to think like the truest
Right.
of themselves because it's just like you have to know like if
Everyone on a personal level, right?
yeah, I think that you're
Yeah,
right. Right. You'd have to know like on a personal were they as personal as they were and did they also kind of show their full personality in every part of it? And I think that's a
exactly.
question I can answer as we kind of dive more into it because there's just so many
Yeah.
other parts there, you know.
But I want you to think of the strategic one because I have
Oh
two
yeah.
people in mind where I'm just like hands down there.
Hands down, I kind of who I want at the top of that. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, and there's definitely some names from like, yeah, when I look back at everything, like that was super strategic.
Yeah.
Best, grasp on who's with who on this tribe. And I found it very interesting because I called with every single person and I seen like Muggsy and like Dar. And I honestly think like they're a duo. Like I think they're wow, like it was scary. And I called with Muggsy and Mary and then after I left, we had to call with me, Muggsy and Dar, right? And then Dar joins up and he's like, before I even get like, he had to go to the room. So it was just them two and I joined. First thing I heard, oh, we have a big problem. Them two talking. And I joined and it was silent. And I didn't bring it up. Like they didn't know I heard it, but
Muggsy and Dar seem like this. However, Dar protects Mary over Muggsy. If that's any.
You think so?
I definitely, at least,
Okay.
at least to me, when he was talking to me, it came off that way.
Yeah, I just seen it. I seen it yesterday, and I was like, wow, like Dar will really report everything back to Muggsy like that.
They're definitely looking at Tabitha. So, honestly, I feel like right now where we stand, me, you, Tabitha, and Mary.
Yeah, I get the best vibes from the three of you, so I definitely be, willing to work for it with you guys.
Kind of seems like it's unfolding that way.
That's what I wanted.
Look how God works.
Wow,
This is what we all wanted.
thank God we won that challenge.
Yeah, right?
This Tabitha,
Okay, this is my first question. Do you think that if we were all able to watch each other from like the sidelines, like from behind, with group chats and everyone like not knowing that we could see what they were saying, do you think this would be a different game?
It definitely would be. It would be a very different game because then it's just kind of like you're going in and it's got a lot more. I mean, we had tension in ours, but now
Yeah.
like you hear certain things that you kind of assumed were different, and now the
Yeah.
people are trying to play like, oh, I didn't say that. It's like, no, but that's a lie.
But you
We
did.
can roll the
But
tape.
you did.
Roll the tape. Roll the tape. That's not what you said.
That's
Especially
not
with
what you said.
those votes and challenge things. It's just like you didn't even know what conversations were happening.
Oh,
So
man.
that by itself was just like, wow.
I know. Okay, all right.
about what just happened before this. Can I tell it?
Yeah, sure, because I'm lost. I'm like my mind is all over.
Yeah. So me and Ashley had a one-on-one for the Shack Chat,
Okay.
and this is the three that she wanted. Yeah.
No, remember
Yeah.
Tabitha, we all wanted this. Remember the other day, just like I was telling Riaz, I was like, I think Tabitha is comfortable with working with the three of us because she was
Yeah.
like, we need to figure out how to get alone time in the Shack Chat.
I think at first I was a little on the fence just about like him coming in. I kind of feel like he maybe came in as a spy, but just based off the last couple conversations that we've had, I'm feeling pretty good. That could be subject to change. I feel real tight with you guys, and yeah, I think we all kind of feel the same about
Never
Lindsay.
as a spy.
I want her out. I want her out.
I was telling Ashley that last night I had a chat with every single person, and one of the chats was with Bugsy and Dar. And before I joined, it was just them two. Dar was like, Bugsy, we have a big problem. And then I popped in, and then it was silent. So I think that Dar and Bugsy,
Yeah, I think they're working together though.
I think they're more like low key, kind of like my game, playing the middle.
Jay? I have so many questions.
I'm glad he's on this one.
So many questions. So many. So
Yes.
many.
Well, let me answer a few of them.
Yes.
When
Oh,
we,
in
when, we,
hindsight.
when we get to these scenes, I wish Susan was on tonight. Like I have
Yes.
so many
Right.
questions.
Right. Oh my goodness. Oh, we would talk about this because I was just like, this is the biggest swing. There's two swings as far as for us. This and then this was a lot.
I thought that was Riazzo really on, man. I was like, whoa, this guy does exist.
Well, and that's what I was like during this episode was so pivotal because like as soon as we got like the information, because he like put it on a little screen for us at the end, and we were like, bro, like what the fuck happened? And so we were just like, but it seemed like after like the two votes happened, like this one and the next one, it was like almost Dom and I got targeted for like the wrath of the anger. And it was like when I was telling him is that Susan and Dom and I never had an alliance together. We had a team alliance, but we did not make an alliance. Like I know I didn't make an alliance with her. Dom did not make an alliance with her, and it looked like she made an alliance with Riazzo and Emily.
Right.
And so like it's when we got the information of this vote and then when I just went like tunnel vision afterwards. It was like we got like the blame for all of that, and it was almost like we were not allowed
Really?
to react to that. Yeah, it
Sure,
was
sure, sure.
crazy. It was crazy.
So I had to watch all of yesterday just hoping and praying that Susan turned on me and she actually voted against me because my conscience was going to be totally different. Like, not just yesterday, I've spent months, like, I've had to hope that she went totally against me and went rogue on the alliance because if not, I was going to be a total and complete asshole. Speak of the devil, look who it is. That was almost as good as timing as Riazzo.
Yeah, buddy. It's hilarious in itself.
Yeah,
But-
for sure.
So, and then what was the other part? Okay, and then I have a side note because the last video, the last episode on 3,
Yeah.
because at the beginning of this one, Riazzo gets in a conversation with Mary, and I kind of want to get your guys' input on that because I was actually really confused. Because if you notice that throughout like the episodes, a lot of information gets twisted. And so, like, when Riazzo was telling to Mary is that Muggsy called Mary a bitch. But then if you
Right.
look at the scene of when that happened, when that orchestrated,
Mhm.
Muggsy didn't say a name of who was she calling a bitch. She just said that guy and then that bitch. And then she didn't.
I took that as Tabitha.
And I took
That's
that as
exactly
Tabitha.
what I said.
I took that as Tabitha too.
Yes,
But
yes.
then Riazzo, he switched it and he said that it was Mary. And I was like, she didn't actually say Mary. And then if you see in the reaction video that Nick did last week, everyone else thought it was Mary too. But I was like, I don't think
Yeah,
that
I
was
can
supposed to
understand.
be Mary.
Mhm.
Didn't she
And
say?
I-
Didn't she say that to Mary? Didn't she say that to Mary though when she said you voted me bitch or something?
She
No,
did
she
say that's why you voted against me, but I don't remember calling her that.
No,
She
yeah.
didn't
But
call
I think she
No?
might say the vote part. I didn't see that part of her actually.
She said the vote part, but she never called Mary an actual bitch. I think
Oh,
she was actually
okay.
talking about Tabitha with that. That's why I was like so confused with that.
Because
Yeah.
she'd come close to calling her that on multiple occasions.
I
Yeah, I was gonna say how many times
So I
did
just
already
thought
have
it felt
that?
like I thought she went from like that to actually saying it. That was the way I took it. That it was,
Yes,
it was Tabitha.
yes.
And then she would call her by the wrong name anyway, which is kind of equally demoralizing.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. She was trying to turn that knife on her. She
Hey,
Hey,
went
Wow.
look,
her
I'm
out.
outside again. I'm outside again, you guys.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
a good
Oh,
day
no,
for it,
not
even
right.
here. Susan,
No.
did you hear what I was saying right when you came on?
No, I didn't. No, I
I
didn't.
said I had to spend not just yesterday, but the last 3 months hoping and praying that you turned against me and I turned against you, and it was a complete wash. Because if I would have found out yesterday that you voted for Ashley or Mary, my heart was going to be broke, and you were probably getting a dozen flowers through email today. But luckily, you voted against me.
No, but you saw that, right? Like you saw that.
Yeah.
Like I was all of us to the end. Like seriously.
I know.
And then what they told me, I was just like, oh my God. Like
So my
yeah.
final line today, I
That's
just
what-
got done with Nick, and one of my final lines was, "I should have stayed loyal to Susan."
It was
It'll be on the
hindsight,
video.
Jason. That's why I have so many questions, bro. Let's get the
Listen.
episode going. Listen.
That's why I was like, when I got that information, I was like, what the easier thing would have been to get one of them out because like
I know, and we were
both of us, and I was just kind of like, okay.
Well,
And it's
what
just
was-
like,
Dom at the end, you asked me like, who are you gonna vote for? I'm like, I don't know. Like now I'm just all confused.
And
'Cause
yours
I
got
really
cut
was-
off, but Dom and I's got cut off too. And I don't know if you noticed or not, but at the beginning, I completely switched and said we basically need to choose somebody of the other two.
yes.
I
yes.
know,
Keep
I know.
you
And we
Susan.
at
We're
the
gonna
same
do that.
time, at the same time, then I switched too because I was like, okay, they changed their minds. Like, you know what I mean? Like
And
I
then,
was like,
and
they
then it's
changed their
getting
minds.
ready to cut off. It says like the 2 minutes thing. And Dom's like, well, I don't know, man. Susan just kind of seemed all over. And I was like, I think she turned on
Yeah.
me. That's it. I'm going
Yeah.
Susan. I'm
Yes.
going Susan.
Yeah, it was
I
get to that
mean,
point.
seriously, I was with you guys. I was with you guys all the way till they were like, and I felt it, and that's why I'm like, I'll just vote myself off. Like, you know what I
Well,
mean? I really
It
meant
was the
that.
hardest
And then,
part.
then
I
Ashley
think
was
that
very convincing. Ashley was very convincing, and
Ashley
I'm
is one of the most.
like,
bro.
I'm like, wow.
Ashley is the one, Rita. She
I I know.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing is if everything I would have known, like if I was on that team,
Yeah.
she would have been my first target.
For
Like
sure.
hands down my
Yeah.
first
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
I've been
So-
trying to do, yeah, because after that, I was just, how did we, after that, after this part, I was just like, how did we get lost in our own team with them when we
I don't
had,
know, but I was trying to like stay like us three, like it really was. I really was.
Well,
yeah,
so we can't like really talk about it yet, Dom.
Okay.
But I'm like, when we get up to it, then we can kind of talk about it a little bit more. So,
Yeah. Okay. I don't
we-
even know where you guys are at. Okay. Yeah.
so
we're
because
just jumping in.
how we kind of went about it with certain votes is I feel like we could have been like a little bit more hush hush about it, but I think we were just more of like guns blazing, like we don't care who knows, you are.
Yeah, once Jason was gone, it was just like we trying to tear this shit up.
In hindsight, that's what we should have done.
Yeah.
So here was my two biggest regrets after yesterday. The one was I had the choice on who to talk to, and I had to talk to Dom to just kind of go where we were at. In hindsight,
Yeah.
it should have been, I need to speak to Susan. I want to talk to Susan. And my
Yeah.
first thing would have been like, hey, just so we're clear, nothing has changed. It's the three of us, and we'll mess with each other next week. But we're not changing what it is. And I didn't do that. If anything, I wanted to be able to say, like, what was really the deal last night? It was just that you had a couple drinks and were acting crazy. Hey, I was too. So we were even. And I just want to continue. I don't want to change. I don't want to do anything different.
That
And I
was the
didn't do
biggest
that. I started
thing.
questioning myself. And the way in the episode you said I had changed, I swear to God, I felt like you did too. And I was like, I think she's trying to get it out of me that I'm going to go against somebody else. So that was my first one. And then the second one was, I believe, and I still need to understand what Nick says I had, but I had that banish thing to where I could have made it where I couldn't be voted out. And at the worst, I think it would have been a tie because it would have been, that would have taken rid of my vote.
I think
But I sat there like a dipshit because I didn't know what I was doing.
I feel like if you would have done that, they would have targeted Dom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was messed up. Like, I
But
mean,
the
it was like
following episode was going to lead to everybody was to themselves anyway. So it's like yesterday I couldn't even go to sleep because I'm like, you moron! All you had to do was say
Crazy.
something. I
That
just sat
is
there so
nasty work.
convinced that we had this. Like, nobody's going to go anywhere. I'm fine, and that wasn't the case.
You know, the thing that I thought about when you had that banish is what I would have done personally. I would have actually banished Mary because Mary at that point was like the wild card and you didn't know where Mary was going to be at.
Right.
And so like if you would have banished her and then like the three of you guys would have voted Ashley, that would have been a completely different game.
I know. And
yeah,
it's
you're
crazy.
absolutely right. Yeah.
I think we just all underestimated how good of a player Ashley was. And at that time,
Yeah.
instead of Susan and I just talking one-on-one like we had throughout the whole thing, we distanced ourselves from each other. And it was like somebody had to be the odd person out.
And that's what went so crazy in our talk with it. It was just like Susan saying this, what are we doing? Well, our team should be this. Like, what are we doing here?
I know when I heard that, I was
nuts.
like, oh no, like that, like that's what I was talking about the whole time. And I'm like, oh God, they're gonna really, we could have done that. Like, you know what I mean? And by then I was like, oh my God, like I fucked up, like, you know.
No, I did.
Oh, sorry. I don't mean to cuss, but-
No, you're fine. You're fine. You do you, girl. You do you. Say what you gotta say.
Yes.
So-
It's spicy.
We're gonna get started though. We're gonna watch some of this and then pause, kind of like what we've been doing.
Okay.
I messed up and I sent the wrong date yesterday for the invite. So I hope more people join. Because I know I was emailing Tabitha and Emily and they might join. But I know like Emily has like a little bit conflicting like work schedule. So we might end up seeing those two or we might not, but yeah.
Got
Okay.
about half hour.
Get
Probably.
it.
Did you say hit it? Hit it.
Mhm.
5-1 vote type, and it's like deja vu for you, except this time, unfortunately, you are actually out of the game. Do you have any last words?
Well, wish I had a better opportunity to contribute more to you guys, but good luck to you.
Well, I have some news for this team that they probably are not gonna like for the show.
Oh, yeah.
Here. So let me wait for Dawn to get back.
That was scary enough, Nick. See what you did?
I know y'all
Disappearance.
time for a tribe swap. We will be switching up the teams. And the other team has a task tonight that they will be doing. They will not be able to pick the team and say who's in what team. It will be random, but they will be doing the task later tonight. So tomorrow night you will get on here and see just who is on your new team.
Did you not just hear how happy we were? No backstabbing.
No, I wanted to break the news now. But for now, you have a few more minutes to chat with the first Legends team to reminisce.
So what is he gonna do?
That's like the delinquent team.
So we get another person or maybe one of us open and that's what
I think two are going over there and two are coming here, and it's gonna be totally different. This is a version of individuals as opposed to teams, but we're still on teams.
It's gonna be a complete.
Well, we gotta remember, let's just stay strong and stay, no matter what team we're on, we'll just be, you know what I mean? That's how we'll have to do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what team we're on, we can stay strong to the end.
Yeah.
That's right.
You were right. You were right.
Fun stuff, like,
Yeah.
you know, we all, I do believe we got to know each other on a personal level that has not happened on that other side, so we can all speak for
Right.
about part of each other.
Watch me be on this team with Bugsy.
You're probably watching the video right now of who said what.
Oh, I don't care. I'll put it all out there.
I'm in deep trouble.
I'll be very blunt with it. That's the situation. I'll go ahead like this.
Yeah, well, I think the positive
You're
is
right,
none
it's
of us
over.
really have anything bad to say about the other. I can't think that that's the case in their situation. So there's no animosity, nothing bad to say. We've done our part and we stuck to this point with what we promised each other from the beginning, for real.
I just feel like our team has been so peaceful and like
I
not
know.
backstabbing.
Right.
That whatever way the teams
Okay.
go, there will always be bigger fish to fry. I feel
I
like
agree.
the targets are all on their backs. Like they have a lot of people, a lot of names that they're going to be throwing out. We don't really have that. So
No.
if we just listen for information and, just defend our people, that's where I'm at,
Exactly. Cause we could still pull it off and in the end, it'll be just us five. You never know. And all them people will be gone then.
All right, guys. Hey, it's been a pleasure no matter what.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
That's the fun
Yes, sir.
Bye.
Guys.
So terrible.
I just said it to him in my interview. Dude, you couldn't have left it for one more episode. We were doing just fine.
I know, because I killed that last game too.
Heck.
It's a
I
bummer.
was so hurt. I was like, no.
Rather towards anyone.
Good.
The thing is when everybody was holding tantrum and I didn't know the whole backstory about what he did, I had voted Bugsy because she did sometimes have technical issues which may present a problem like in future challenges. But other than that, it's like, I'm not particularly in favor or against any particular person.
I can
Yeah.
never understand her.
Cool.
Let's see.
Uh,
She was saying rude things about you. No one didn't tell you.
she was saying what?
She was saying rude things about you. When I had my talks with everybody, I had a
Uh.
chat with her, Tara, and Bugsy. And Bugsy was like referring to you. She's like, yeah, that bitch voted for me.
She didn't say that. She did not say that.
But like of all people to say that to, poor Mary, like she's the last one that could handle that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so. Oh, man.
On your business. No, I had a confessional. I was like, that's very rude with her,
Yeah.
I just told Tabitha that she agreed. So I think Muggsy is kind of out to get you just because she's emotional,
She's emotional.
We're not gonna let her go through out. Sounds good.
Yeah, that's he's exactly on that.
I just wanted you to know that because I thought it was rude of you to say that.
The
So what do
music.
you think about this new kid? I think he's cool. I think he's about as cool as all of us were when we started in the beginning. I'm interested.
Yeah, like, doesn't seem like shady, right?
You should not seeing Maxie not in
Well,
makeup.
What, Dumb?
As I'm not used to seeing Maxie not like dolled up. Like she's always usually,
Oh,
you know, like
you're like, this is different.
this is different. This is a different Maxie. This is the clone Maxie.
I might be missing out on.
Like, I think he's so far cool and not bullshitting anything. There's not no bullshit yet.
Right.
But he just seems like, like a straight talker. Like he doesn't stop to think about like what he might lie about. Now, about, I keep calling it Tiffany. Tabitha.
Like there's something that I'm missing about what happened in the game.
Okay, and that part, do you think Muggsy was trying to fill out Ashley as far as like Tabitha and Ashley working together?
For sure. I think you could just see,
Yeah.
you can, look at her eyes right there. She's like,
Yeah.
so what her eyes say it all. she wants intel. She wants to know exactly, because if with her and Dar being so tight, she's saying, can we bring you on over here?
Right, exactly.
Because I guess I'm so confused. Like you kept saying like she kept answering. Wasn't she getting the right answers? If she
No, it had nothing to do with the game. It was that everyone was like driving her up because she knew the answers.
Okay.
But the only reason that she was so good at those answers wasn't because she was so super smart and awesome, was because she lives in Canada. That's where hockey originated from. She's gonna know all the teams. The reason why I don't like her has nothing to do with it.
Okay. I was like, I can tell the.
Okay, because you guys are on specifically tonight, I really want to switch to your guys' parts because I just have so many questions that, and like, yes, so I want to, so we got through the game and everything like that. We ended up winning on the new team. And then this is where it starts. Because Jason, how long do you have?
Huh?
We'll go with 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then might pop off for just a second, and then I'll come back on for at least the last 5 minutes.
It throws me all up in the air because I've also believed that she's one of, just based on not participating, one of the weaker links when it comes to team-wise type things. However, I also consider her one of my closest allies based on her loyalty. But if she's not even loyal to herself and saying, go ahead and kick me off, or I don't need to do this anymore, I can only imagine that she's so loyal to me. So it's had me questioning everything I thought I knew about Susan.
That was comical at the end.
I still think that's fair.
I think Susan, that really just threw us all for a loop. I didn't know how to even manage when you said it. It just was kind of like, we're a team, but it's just like, what do we do now? Like, and I think that's
I was
the
just trying
biggest
to help
hindsight.
everybody out.
So
I was just trying to help everybody out.
I just told Nick I had part of that night where I thought, in all honesty, that maybe that was part of the game. Like
No.
But mentally during that time, because we just had the swap happen, I felt like Susan was being different. Somehow I felt myself being different already. Like everything had changed so rapidly that the person behind, like after the stuff is done, like the Jason actually sleeping and resting in bed thinking to himself, what the hell is going on? Is Susan doing something? Like, is this part of this? That was how bad. And that's a sad thing to say because I do this for a living. Like my mind was so all over the place on what was real, what was part of the game, what was pretend, The only thing I didn't question is I knew Dom wasn't turning at any point. I would even try some things to like, let's see if he's going to go this way as opposed to what I'm doing. And we were pretty locked in, so I didn't worry about that. But even then, I was like, wait a minute, does he know more about what Susan's doing than what I know? Like, that's how all over the place I was, to where it was just like, it's gotten so confusing. I think it's best we just start from scratch now.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Susan,
Yeah.
when you said that to vote for me, you were more of thinking about the whole team because you didn't want at that point anyone to get out. Is that correct?
I knew I was getting out.
Okay.
I knew that they were going to vote me out. You know what I mean? So I just said, hey, I'll just vote myself out. You know what I mean? And make it easier for everybody. And then when I talked to for Ashley, then that was, she's very convincing. That's all I gotta say.
Ashley is a smooth operator. I will give her that.
At any point, did you ever think to like put the vote towards like Ashley or Mary?
Well, we were going to stick together in the very beginning. So that was fine. But when I heard that, and felt that they were going to vote me out, I was like, I'll just do them a favor. Like, I really meant that. You know what I mean? Honestly, from my heart, I was like, you know what I mean? And then I started, then Ashley brought it to my attention, making me think about, well, do you really want to go? If you see that, I mean, you got to watch that. She was like manipulating me the whole time.
It was very,
you know what I mean? And I felt,
So
otherwise,
Susan,
I honestly wanted you guys to go forward because I really meant what I said. You know what I mean? And then she was like, well, do you really? Do you really? And I'm like, well, that's not the point. I was trying to tell her. The point is, like, and then I said, well, we were going to stick together. And as I was saying that, she's like, well, let me tell you, like, that
so that was a very important line. Yesterday, that was huge to me because I heard her say the word, Dom and Jason originally told us that you were their target. And I can say flat out, Dom, correct me if I'm wrong. Those words never once been said.
No, that's what I'm saying. Ashley had that shit like.
She did that on multiple occasions, though. She did that on the other team as well.
The exact concern was the one that I've said out loud to just about everybody, that Susan hadn't played in the game. That was all I kept going back
that's
to.
how we know.
It was never, she's the target and that's who we're voting. I said, if you're looking at everything as a whole, we have to start questioning who can help out with these team games. And never once did we say
I understand that. I understand that completely. I just got nervous about everything because I just didn't want to lose. You know what I mean? I should have just played. You know what I mean? And if we lost, we lost. But I was more concerned about me losing and then screwing it up for everybody. You know what I mean? Because I didn't realize. I don't know. I'm not afraid to play games on there. I just didn't want to fuck up.
Susan, when you first, 100% honest, if that last day I would have asked to speak with you, and when me and you got on together, I said, hey, nothing's changed. The bullshit about not playing or who is and who isn't playing doesn't matter. We have a pact. The three of us are sticking together. Would you have continued with where we were at? Me, you, and Dom?
I would continue. No, I would continue with you guys because, seriously,
I would have said we vote Ashley because Mary. I would say Mary's easy.
Either one of them. Target. I was ready. Yeah, well, I figured we had to vote one of them because then we would have been all three of us and only one of them, and we, you know what I mean? It would, then we would have.
It just got so. I don't know.
It went my own ass for 4.5 months.
Then as it goes on, I felt like an idiot. Then I felt like an idiot because you see what she told me. Well, go on, but on the thing,
we can get so deep into it as it goes because Ashley played this shit to a T. I'll give you that.
She's like, no, I do want to still.
It's like, well, it's like that was random. Like, I don't want to leave, but I'm ready to go, but not really. But that game is so fast. I don't follow nobody. I just was like, they go their ass. Like, that's all. It was like, and I didn't think that they were. The funniest thing is, I was thinking like, oh man, they about to be arguing with each other because they're like, well, you go, and I'm like, okay. But then they was in sync, and I was.
That's the energy we have on that team. It was consideration. That's what it was. No, you go. No, you go. That's why we were winning. We had such great chemistry and consideration for each other.
Yeah, that was a tough one. It was a tough night, but now, I guess with elimination, you know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of makes it so odd with what Susan just said, because it's kind of like,
I think she said it because she feels like maybe like, you know, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why she said it. I can just imagine that with herself. And some part of her felt Jason yesterday or whenever that was we were talking and knew that she was just, you know, because when we were on when I was on the other team, seriously, at one point Muggsy was like freaking out and she's like, it's gonna be a girl, it's gonna be a girl, it's gonna be a girl, it's gonna be me. And then all of a sudden, that's why Ty was so confused because it just boom, blindsided to that, like it just flipped. It just so happened so quickly, but she felt it when the barrel was aimed at her. She felt it. Well, my plan was just to help everyone who keeps saying they just want honest people to play. It was just to help the honest people be able to stay a little longer to continue to show, you know, honesty does.
So, Jason, my other question is, I think around one of the first episodes, I thought you were similar to Alex's gameplay. Did you ever watch Alex's episode?
Yeah, here and there.
Okay. But, and see, that was like me just speculating. That was like me wide speculating. And now I'm like thinking that Ashley was more of like Alex.
100%.
100%. Yes.
But yeah, no, like, do you have any like thoughts on that? Like, did you like this, like for you guys, I feel like in this episode was like definitely like more of out of character than maybe like than all the other.
And I think that comes with, I was genuinely uncomfortable with what popped up on that screen. I honestly would have preferred Muggsy. Like for me, I think I would have worked better with Muggsy than Ashley. And then the Mary dynamic was going to be tough no matter what. So I was instantly uncomfortable with how everything was going to play out. And I think my mind started to go to, I have to get one of them to a point that I have a relationship with them similar to what me and you or me and Emily had. Yeah. Because Dom and I were on a whole new level of like, hey, we're sticking with each other and this and that. That's going to be fine. So when Dom popped up, hey, Dom's back. And then Susan was there. It's like, oh my God, whoever these two are screwed. Like we're going to ride together to the end of this thing. And then it was Mary, two people that I've seen win on the other team. And I'm like, there's got to be something up here. I got to find a connection with one of the two of them. And at the time, I did not give Ashley enough credit for being.
Well, and you guys will see throughout the other episodes, like when me and Dom started targeting people, like, we went after we didn't go after the head people, we went after the people that were following them. And so, because we wanted to make it as just hush hush as possible. So we could keep the rest of our pack intact. And so it was just that's what we started off.
They had it out for me, Jason, for sure.
We started cutting legs.
And that's what I was telling Dom too, is like, it kind of, when we found out the information, it felt like, because at that point, like me and Dom didn't have an actual alliance with you, Susan. We just said, hey, we're going to watch out for the whole team. But the alliances that I made was with Jason, Dom, and Emily. Yeah. And that's who I stuck with. And so like when Jason got voted out, I was like, what is going on? And then I find out all of this information. And then it was like, because I do confront like a lot of people during these next episodes. Yeah. And I'm like,
way to go, Rogue.
I have no, I don't, maybe I'm going to see like how I reacted, because maybe I will apologize for some of it. But like being as far as like being confrontive and like telling people what they did, like I don't apologize for that, but it was almost like me and Dom got like blamed for like the reaction of you getting out. And I was like, I feel like everyone else would have had that same reaction if their teammate would have gotten.
So, how are we losing, that to where our team was like, that was our foundation, and it's just like we kind of in this like, it was kind of like it was like the quicksand going, and Jason's like, "What are we gonna do? What are we gonna vote?" And it's just like, "Shit, what are we doing with Susan?" And it's just like, "Well, Susan's on the plate. How do we manage this?" It's just like we don't know them, and we're just kind of.
Yeah.
I think both of us were just kind of in this like mind thing where it was just psychologically that shit had me so nuts. It's just like
Well,
Susan
and
said
then the
this, and I don't know
Sorry.
if Susan, if you don't say that, I think we take out Ashley. I 100% feel we would have did that.
That's why yesterday was so cringeworthy for me to watch, because as Ashley was giving the talk to Susan,
Mhm.
Oh yeah, you didn't.
and
know
I'm with a
it,
group
yeah,
of
you
people
didn't know
too
that.
last night. And
Yeah.
everybody's like, well, for starters, everybody said after my time came that they're going to go after
Yeah.
Susan whether she knows it or not. Everybody in the room was saying, now I'm worried that Susan's going to get it next just because she's affiliated to you, whether you guys are getting along or you weren't. But anyway, as Ashley was having that conversation with Susan, I'm thinking to myself, this was the conversation that Dom and I should have been having with her,
Yes.
because them two had no chance.
They had no chance
if
because
we
we
have
had
that
it.
conversation with Susan. I
Right.
said it just a minute ago. At that time, you were loyal. I know at the end you say I got
Yeah,
annoying
yeah.
when I was taking over conversations, but to this point, we were all loyal to each other. And I ain't saying it, but I messed up deeply by
I did
not
too, though.
sticking with what we said.
I think when you went that way, I was just like, I can understand it, but in my mind, I'm thinking like, well, maybe you had one of them to go, because I'm just like, all right, if we have one in it, but they were so
Well,
tight with each
I
other.
knew for sure you guys were voting me. So even though the conversation probably would have had to have been earlier because of the fact that
But
I
Susan,
would've
we didn't
known-
even know that. I promise, we didn't know until the very end that we were going that
with
way.
that until it felt like,
Oh.
all right, we're gonna go with this, and I'm like, okay.
Even at the end, you'll hear me say, like, I spent yesterday thinking after what Susan did, it's got to be Susan. But I've completely changed my mind, and I don't want to go with that anymore. I want to go with one of the two new people. And I look at Dom, and I'm like, and I'll let you decide which one of the two is going. Let's just get Susan. We're going with one of them. Like, thanks a lot, buddy.
All you did was literally someone to say that out loud. Hey, we're gonna vote for Mary. Hey, we're gonna vote for Ashley. Okay, cool, guys.
That was it. It was that simple. It was that simple. And it happened. It could have happened in that conversation that you and I had, Susan, because you said we had just met them, and you said, which one of them are we going after? And like an idiot, I was like, well, I don't know. We have to see how they're going to play the game first. And I was so stuck in the game stuff that I'm missing out on the big game.
But see, that's the other thing. I don't think, like, did you think about, like, hey, towards the end, if these people were here, did you want such strong players at the end of the game as well?
I wasn't even thinking about that.
That's
It was, how do we get to that next round?
Yeah, well, that's another strategy that like other players have used in other past like seasons where they're like, hey, let's take out the strongest player, which I mean, it's not very admirable, but like that's also something to think about.
Yeah. Nope, I was just.
I really meant what I said, because like I think you guys should all like I don't know. I'm just that kind of person, you know what I mean? Like the game's bitching, I love it, you know what I mean? But it's like when it comes down to how I am, I'm just saying that you guys could all vote for me, and so you could all stay and do your thing.
So you want to be done?
Well, no, I mean, but I will. That's just how I am. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, there is a way.
I'm the type of girl that will give somebody their last dollar. I'll give anybody anything. You know what I mean? Like, just to make people happy, honest.
Shout out to Susan though for originally having this like thought process.
Sorry.
Like, shout out to you for thinking about people around you. Like, I can't say it's like you didn't know that people were being so strategic in this game. You were just thinking about your team. So shout out to you for that.
Stop, dog.
Okay, you know what you want? What about what you want? Because at first she was just like losing it, and I was like, Susan, do you want to be done with the game? And she was like, no. And then, but we had already kind of ran out of time, so I just wanted to like expound on that when I talked with her.
I mean, I've been lucky so far. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, like
this is the thing. Luck is great. I walk with the spirit, with the spirit, and I'm asking on you because there is a way. But if you don't want to fight for your life, then I will give you whatever it is that you want because I'm that same kind of person.
I'm just saying that, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want you guys to feel as though, like, okay, like in the beginning, like this other team that we were all on or whatever, we all like stood, like said, like we will be like till the end, right? Well, it's like that would mean that one of you guys probably would be voted off, you or Mary. Well, we all probably, I was telling her straight out, like
I know, because you're like such a straight up person. Do you think that if you would have like withheld that information from her and then like would have went to like Dom and Jason, do you think that would have been like that would have turned out differently?
well, no, because I was already mad at them, kind of in a sense, you know what I mean? Because I already knew they were gonna vote me out.
Right.
I mean, I knew why. I wasn't mad because of the fact of I knew why, and it made total sense to me. You know what I mean? But I don't even think we would have had a chance to even talk again. I mean, I did talk to Dom, but by then I was just like, I don't know what, like I should have told Dom, but then again, it's like, well, Dom's wanted me out too, so I was like, well, like I don't know, like. This did not go down at all the way I wanted to. I wanted to vote myself out and just watch the rest of it. Really, you know what I mean? And she just kept going on and on. I go, okay, like a stupid, like, you know what I mean?
I don't think it's stupid. I just think that like there was a lot of like manipulation and like game.
Oh yeah, I look back at it and look at her face. She's just like, okay, now, like, you know what I mean? Like, wow.
It's not a psychology part of it.
I'm usually not that gullible. Like, I'm like, yeah, okay, like, what the fuck, you know?
All I know is that she would have like taken this to like if she would have talked to me about this or Emily, like would have been like, bro, like what the fuck, guys? Like this is what she said to us.
It was weird. It was weird.
We need to get her out now.
And I'm like, oh, you're cool. I'm telling her, you're cool. I like you. But now I look back and I'm watching that and I'm going, look at her face, just how she just totally brainwashed me in 5 minutes.
She was playing the game. She
played the game, like you said, Rita. She played it to a I will. We get deep into it. It was, we were doing so much, and it was just like, that was.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Probably would vote for like you or Mary. You know what I mean? We would vote for you or Mary to probably leave if that's really how they are. Like that's how I was. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we all said in the beginning. Like we'll all stick together to the end, right? You know what I mean? So I would assume they wouldn't vote me off, right? But in my mind. And this is honest, like in my mind, it's like Jason's kind of tripping on me. Look at her. I think he'd vote me off anyway, Jason now. Because I don't know, he's got different towards me, so I can just tell kind of. Just being, I don't know, he's kind of being really like obnoxious and he doesn't let anybody talk and he's just like trying to get over everything kind of.
What are your thoughts about me and Mary being on the team?
I like you guys a lot. I'm just saying. I can tell. I haven't hardly talked to you, and I connect with you. I do connect with you. I did kind of, yeah. See what kind of person you are.
Okay, so listen. If I was to vote with
Susan,
who were to be the one to make the decision?
I said Jason.
Go for it, Jason.
So this is a moment where. I'm so happy that we're doing this and you did reach out with email and let's all talk and like hang out because this is one of those, like, it's a proving point that even though it's a game and you don't even really know the people, like we're all in different states. We barely know one another in real life. Where hurt can actually happen because as you were being told, Susan, Jason's pissed off. You don't ever play in the games. Jason's saying he's going to vote you out. Jason and Dom got you as a target. I was hearing, yeah, Susan says you're obnoxious and you're taking over the games and you're the one that decides whether or not people play. And I'm like, oh, good Lord, Susan's one of my closest people. Why is she saying all that? So like my feelings started to get hurt and it played into my mind.
My feelings were already hurt, basically.
You see what I mean? Like it's crazy how somebody coming from and that just goes to show how amazing Nick is with this stuff because it's such great producing.
I totally clicked with you from the gate, Jason. You know what I'm saying? I totally dug you right the time I talked to you. You know what I mean?
But it goes to show like you could take something so powerful and put basically a poison into it, and all of a sudden it just slithers its way right in. And it's genius television. Don't get me wrong; this is wonderful for Nick, but it sucks for our friendship. So I'm so happy that we've gotten to do this. I really am because I enjoy talking with you. I swear to God, I felt horrible for like 4 months on everything.
Me too.
You're making me emotional over here.
And that's the thing, like, I feel like if anyone would have been like, Rita, you said this about me, I would have been like, I would have confronted the person and I would have been like, so what did you tell that person and why did you tell him that? And like, what was the premises of you telling him that? And then
Yeah.
I would have like went to the person that they said it to because I'm like,
We
who's
didn't get a
like,
chance though. I didn't never got to talk to Jason again.
I know.
It's true. And that goes back to what I said. If I would have just thought to
Yeah.
myself when I got done with Tabitha that night, Nick emails me and says, "Who do you want to speak to tomorrow?" And all I could think of was me and Dom have got to be on the same page because I knew you at that time. I still believed, even though you were mad at me, you were going to vote with whatever Dom and I decided. But I should have just said, I need to talk to Susan, and then I would have had you speak to Dom on what you and I had decided. In hindsight, that's what I wish would have happened that night.
Yeah,
or you guys
you're
could
right.
have just like had during like the vote and be like, hey, are we guys, are we all still on the same page, like of what we talked about? And
Well,
like,
remember what you told me to say? You better tell them why you're doing this. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
what.
yeah.
because Ashley knew as soon as when me and Emily found out what
Yeah.
actually happened, what actually orchestrated, she knew she was going to be a target. There was no like trying to trick us or manipulate us. Like we were pissed. So-
Yeah,
I love that.
That shit had us
Yeah.
like, damn.
I
Because it
love
was
that.
not.
Well, we got
Yeah, and I
blindsided.
didn't.
We got blindsided twice. So we were like, at this point, we were just like, nope, no more of this.
That's a good word right there, blindsided. That's what I got. I got off and about cried myself to sleep that night.
I'm sorry, Jason.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like,
That's
Hey, I'm an emotional guy.
But you were in our alliance, so it's fine.
Well, that was kind of the great thing. Like when it was all said and done, I did get to tell everybody in the room. I honestly feel like not one person truly turned on me, and I didn't last long enough to feel like I did anything wrong to anybody. Even in the very end with the Sousa part, I went out of my way to say nice things. I don't think anybody was horrible to somebody in our group. Now they're on the opposite side. You know what I'm saying? Like there was nothing that negative or anything.
Yeah, we
It
didn't
just sucked.
we didn't call any like out of context like that I can remember. So I think like there was one thing that Susan may have said to me out of anger.
I probably did.
From the next episode that's like the only thing I can recall, and I can't exactly remember what she said. I'm sure Nick will play it. But
Yeah, I was just mad. I knew you guys would be mad, and I knew nobody was gonna know what happened. Really, you know what I mean? Until this point today, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We felt it. It felt like that was the pivotal moment in the game.
Well, I kept waiting that night for like the message from Nick saying like, "Hey, just so you know, this is how you're coming back into the game." And one day went by, and then 2 days, and I'm like, "What the hell? Am I not really coming back?" I thought there's no way. I can't really be out. There's no way. And it was over. I mean, it was that fast. I went from total confidence.
I was hoping that you were like you or the next. Oh, I can't talk about it.
Yeah, ding, yeah.
That you guys were like that someone was gonna come back like for like the
Kept
final.
thinking it was coming.
Like, and that's what I was like. What was in the back of my mind? I was like, this can't be it. This can't be.
I was even thinking to myself, wouldn't it be awesome if I popped up on the screen and it was just me and Susan, and we get to go, hey. That was what I was like. That'd be great television.
Oh
yeah,
like
like some Marvel shit, definitely.
Yeah,
Marvel, like everybody comes back and it's like, all right, let's take out Thanos.
Yep, I kept thinking that was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can let's just rewind this whole thing here and do this over.
We might tell you to play in a future season. You never know.
Yeah,
All-Star one or something like the challenge.
I'll play a challenge. No.
Coming off, and that's why I'm saying, do you want to go? Because you may hold the key.
Well,
I
may hold the key.
Good.
I mean, to me, it seems like Jason's turning on. Like, I don't think Jason's being honest about how he would stick together with me or Dom. You know what I mean?
Once I seen like she had hit rock bottom, I'm like,
when I hit rock bottom,
I can assist with that. Because like I said from the beginning, Jason it's dishonest behavior. You're saying you're being honest and you're playing in this game honestly, but you're not. Because when me and Mary first came into the team, before we even lost a challenge, he was already telling us that he was going after Susan. and
Okay, so you guys are saying that didn't happen, and I don't remember seeing that on
It's
there.
a tell us about your team conversation. Like
Yeah.
tell we heard you guys are really close. Who's done what? Why are you guys close? Who were you closest to? And then that
Yeah, I wasn't
conversation
in
comes
that
up
chat
about
or
the one
nothing.
thing we can say is that a lot of times Susan hasn't played in the game because that's what it was. Ashley was saying, I don't even to be honest, I don't even remember Susan. I think it was her. She's saying I didn't even know Susan was on that team, and that sparked a conversation of because she doesn't play, she hasn't been in any of the games, so you probably wouldn't have seen her. And that conversation meant we were targeting her.
Which
Yeah,
was
so
not
she-
The
how it
words
was.
we're voting out Susan.
So
That
Which
she
was
does
not
not happen.
happy. Yeah, why would we tell the other team that we just knew we
Right.
don't know you, just say we're gonna that was a manipulated part of like the
So she
psychology of
just
it.
like she twisted it. So she
Yeah.
And
was
like she said, this was before we even played the game. So I'm certainly not talking. My assumption is we're going to win every single game. So I don't want to believe. Like I'm not even thinking who we're eliminating at that time.
Well,
right.
no,
Because
you were.
this is
You guys
something
were.
that has stood out to us.
No, you guys were because you guys made that alliance. I mean, you were going to vote me out anyway on the other team. I mean, when you look back at the other episodes, you know what I mean?
What
So
episode?
I knew that. I knew that. So I
What
think. I mean,
episode?
I knew that. So I mean,
Like in the previous episode, we didn't vote that way. We never we didn't start.
But you guys
We took
talked about
Typhon
it
out. We
many
said
times.
Typhon wasn't part of the team, and we said let's get rid of Typhon. We didn't say okay, Susan's not
well,
playing.
right, I was next. Well, it was obvious.
I
You guys
don't,
had
I
that
don't
never
even,
was
we
talked
never even
about.
really, we never spoke that way. We were very much on. I think, like I said, the wrench was when you said you didn't want to play, and it was just like I don't.
No,
If
that's
you didn't
because
say that, I
no,
don't
the
know if we
other
would even. Me
episode
and
you
Jason.
guys
That's what me and
did
Jason
talk
talked
about
about.
me. You guys did talk about me in the other episode. You guys did.
Said
You
what?
guys said how I will be next, basically. In the episode where you guys did the four of you in an alliance. After what's his name went over to the other team, you guys did. It was like in just the last episode or the episode before.
I think we said some. I think I remember hearing Emily say you were kind of the odd person out of the four of us, but that was just because we had the four. But at no point, I don't remember anybody saying we're voting Susan out.
Yeah, we didn't come
Yeah.
with that. That wasn't our process wasn't that way. Like we
I'll
would
have
speak
I'll have
about.
to go back and look on
You'd have to
the
see
episode
because
2 or whatever, but I think so because that's where I figured. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I
yeah,
get it.
if you can tell us like who said what, because I remember Emily did say something on the lines of like
Yeah,
the game,
yeah.
but I
We
didn't
just-
I know for me personally, I didn't specifically say, hey, we're gonna vote Susan out next.
Yeah, I don't think we'd ever even gotten to that point because we lost a couple people randomly, and then we didn't know what happened with.
No, because you were saying, and then Ty came into the picture, and then we voted him out. And I
Right.
mean, it was pretty. I mean, it was obvious that you four already had an alliance. That's
Sure.
it. Maybe I just felt it then. You know what I'm saying? Or something. I don't know. Like
I mean,
that's why.
I will say, like my alliances was with Dom, Emily, and Jason. So like, and
Right.
if you at the ending with them, like, yeah, I would have voted you out because that was my actual alliance.
Yeah.
And,
Right. And
you
I
didn't-
had started with Emily and what's his name, Riazzo or whatever. And
Yeah.
Riazzo was gone, and Emily wasn't like gonna tell me about anything about you guys, you four. You know what I
Side
mean?
note. Side note on that.
I'm all stupid because I'm all stupid saying it all the way through the other episodes. Like, well, we're all together here. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
I mean, we were to a point because like we were all looking out for like the team, but as soon
Yeah.
as like I think either I said it or someone else said it on another episode, but as soon as we get to that merge, like we are all in it for ourselves kind of a thing. And that's
Yeah.
where that's like where I was at that point. I was like, hey, we'll get our team there and then we can't play
advantage.
everyone else.
Mhm.
yeah. Like I'm not upset about any of it. I'm just saying I just basically knew. You know what I mean? I just
But
knew.
no matter what was said and what wasn't, at the end of it, the only time your name ever was flipped on a card of mine was that very final episode. Never anything before that at any point. So talking and feeling people out is one thing, but
Yeah.
we never
yeah,
once
I remember
turned your
you
name
told
to the end.
Ty. You told Ty, you go, yeah, but we're gonna vote Susan out. That's what you
That's
said.
all part of, and I said literally to him, "Hey, convince me that it shouldn't be you." And that's just
Right.
let's let this guy believe that there's still a
So
chance
he
he's
was
going to be
tie
a
out
part
the
of
whole
it.
time.
Yeah, no, that's getting information out of
No,
him
but
and
when
making him
he-
feel that
That's what
he's
you
going to
made
be
him.
part of this
You
team.
made him vote me. Yeah, but you made him vote me. You said you all were gonna vote me. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. Yes, you
No.
did. When you talked to Ty.
I think like I do remember kind of like conversation of you
Yeah.
like talking to Ty, but I think
That's
it
why
was
he voted
like
me. That's why
I
Ty
think it was
voted
more
me.
of just like a thought that you were like putting out there. I don't think it was like a hey, we're all voting Susan. I think it was just like a
Yeah,
at the
and
time.
I've talked to every other of the other players to say we're going with Ty. I know I am. I mean, at one point I say my vote
Right,
is
why did
absolutely for
that?
Typhon.
Right. Okay. I can see where she's coming from that aspect. Because I do remember a conversation with you, Jason, and Ty talking
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, that's
And
when I originally tell him that a lot of times she doesn't play in the game. I remember that too.
but I will say, Susan, out of you and Riazzo, I actually didn't trust Riazzo over you. Like I like
He was the
especially
wild card the whole time. We always talked
there
about that.
was a lot of stuff that orchestrated, and now that I'm watching these episodes, I was like, there was a reason why I knew I didn't trust him. And
Yeah.
so like I was just like, he probably would have been my next vote over you, to be honest. Like I know at that point I wasn't
Yeah, but he
talking.
was gone then, you know what I mean? So
I think it was just all in our mindset that you were scared to play games, which you were. And so it
yeah,
was just
I
like
just didn't want to mess up. You know what I mean?
yeah.
get
I
that.
mean, girl,
The
did you
very
see
first episode, I said I'll play. You know what I mean? And
did you
I
see
played. I mean, and then
what
after
was
that, I just figured we, huh?
that what was that last game that we played though? I think I got the lowest score out of everyone, and I was like, this is bad. And I think I even like told everyone about it too, because I was like so embarrassed about it. I was like,
That was the yeah. I remember that. I was thinking, shit. We gonna base our performance here.
I
You know,
know.
side note, one of the funniest things has been how many different ways people said Riazzo's name throughout it. Like he was
Yeah.
Rizzo,
I call him Rizzo. I call him
Riz.
Rizzo.
Well,
Then it's Riazzo.
It's
the
like
funny
this.
note is that like Muggsy cannot remember Tabitha's name.
I know.
That's why she called her what she calls her.
Typhon, everyone said his name so messed
Typhoon.
up.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
I'm surprised he wasn't
Typhoon,
on
she kept
today.
calling him Typhoon.
I know. Oh yeah, Ty said he couldn't make it today.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, hey, that's going to be my moment before my heart gets broke here in about 15 minutes. So I'm going to get going.
It's not gonna get broke.
Going on a
You're
vacation
good.
next week, but I'll pop back in here sooner or later as you
Yeah,
guys.
go
Jason,
fishing.
you do not want to miss next week's episode because
No, I'll be watching the episode, but if I'm not on, I'll definitely be back before it's over. I thank the world of you guys. Thank you so much. I can't watch my heart getting broken. I've already watched it once
Where
today.
are you going? Where are you going?
Vancouver.
You're gonna
I'm
leave
getting-
us now?
Yeah, I got to be up in 5.5 hours.
Oh damn.
Okay.
Yeah, get some
Don't
rest.
forget, I'm on the other side of the world over here. So
I know. Where are you? Where are you
it's
again?
in Indiana. It's approaching
Ooh.
midnight for me. I got
I'm
to
in
be up for work at
California.
4:15.
Love Indiana.
We'll have fun.
Yeah,
on
yeah.
vacation.
So we'll talk to you guys soon, no matter what. Please, let's continue to do stuff like this, even if I'm not on for a couple weeks. Bye, guys. See ya.
Okay.
Bye.
Susan, thank you so much. You had me laugh. I had a great time with you. I swear to God.
Love
No
you,
hard
Jason.
feelings.
Love
I'm so
you.
happy we did this. I've been sad for 4
I love
months.
you, guy.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh,
I know.
like a making up friendships.
They already told me that this team is tight knit. Even Jason said this team is tight knit. So the fact that we came in here knowing that you guys are tight knit and you still came to us and said, I'm going after one of my own people, that just tells me I can't trust you.
I would vote Jason off. I would if I could.
Okay, so
Yeah, I could.
But
I did.
okay, but it doesn't matter. We have 5 people on the team. All
Okay,
you-
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, still didn't understand. Okay.
You're one.
Okay, but I don't know who else.
Okay.
Vote with me. Okay.
Because think about it.
I mean,
Listen, if we send you home, if we give you what you're saying is the easiest road, do the easy road, send you home. Where does that leave me and Mary anyways with Dom and Jason?
you're
I'm
right.
like,
She played that woman angle very well. She went real Susan Sarandon on it.
Bro, I'm telling you, if I had like if I was in Jason's predicament and if I had his advantage, I would have banished Mary and then we all would have voted for Ashley. That would have just been it.
I didn't know he had the advantage. I don't
didn't
get that. Him we'll talk about the other episodes. I don't understand. If you have an advantage, use that shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
use it before Steely. Yeah, I never had an advantage. Yeah.
I did.
well,
I know when I had
wait
it.
till the next
Yeah.
episode,
Yeah.
guys, because
Yeah.
seriously, like someone manipulated someone to not use something.
Oh, yeah.
Mic drop. Ew.
No.
If I could tell you that your gut is telling you right about Jason and that you're already thinking about making him a target, I'm telling you that your gut is right. But that's only in the situation that you want to stay and continue fighting for your life. I will vote with you. I feel like
See, she told me right there, Jason's gonna vote you out, basically.
She what?
Listen to what she said. She goes, if you feel that way in your gut, then I'm telling you that you're right. So you know what I mean? She doesn't tell me that he said he was gonna be after me till afterwards.
Yeah. And I
Like,
see
yeah.
my
What?
my skeptical brain would have been like, I need to talk to these people before I make like an indefinite decision, you know, like because I don't know this
Yeah.
person.
Well, I was already feeling it like 3 episodes back. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I knew that I just knew that I mean, I should, yeah, you're right. I should have talked to him because you know what I mean? You're
Yeah,
right.
because like I mean, so like I get you feeling that way like a couple episodes back. That would make sense because then it would solidify
Yeah.
you acting the way that you did.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
like she was the one that said it
But
out
that's
loud.
why I said I would vote myself out because I knew.
Yeah.
You know, I would have never said that if I had no clue. You know what I mean?
Right. And you could have like, and honestly, like if like that was like something that ever happened again, like you play this game and you're like, you say something like that out loud, be like, you know what, guys, like, listen, I
Yeah.
was, and you know, I really do want to play.
I know, yeah.
So
like,
yourself.
Yeah.
It gives the feel to my better nature, so I do what he wants me to do, and I'm not here to play anyone else's game.
He was saying, who would I vote off? And I said, well, I guess out of anybody, I would vote off Jason. And then she said, well, then stick to that. And then you only need 3 votes for that. And now I'm totally confused because I don't know where there would be somebody else that would vote him off if I was to vote him off. You know what I mean? If it was me, her, and somebody else, and I don't know.
It was so messed up what happened on the last game, and that we didn't get a chance to tell you. So I want you to know you have an.
Mary was literally her secret weapon this entire time.
Yeah, I know.
And
Yeah,
I would have gotten Mary out.
I'm coming to you saying, you are the swing vote, honey. You hold the keys. Okay, this is what's going on. Oh my God. So obviously do you believe Jason when he says that he's not going to target us, that he's going to he wants us to vote with them against Susan?
Does feel like he wants to vote Susan, but like I can't really say whether or not like he's against us or with us, but it does feel like he wants to. He's inclined to vote Susan out.
He's inclined to vote Susan. See, that's the thing. It was the inclined to vote Susan that was catching me, right? So I'm like, this guy is just as dangerous as Ty. That's why he went after Ty.
Yeah, it's the two of the same.
I don't think Jason went after Ty. I think I went after Ty more than Jason did.
So I said, like, for our team, we brought him on. Why was he on the other team? And they left him go. It was just like, we don't win. Ty's gone. I mean, I think that was very much,
yeah, like as soon as I had that conversation with Ashley, and she's the one that actually said all the information about Ty, and then I just like brought it to everyone's attention.
Like, oh, Ty's gone. Yeah, exactly. Look at Ashley's playing in so many different pots.
I know. Because I'm like, in realization, I feel like I got Ty out in that episode more than Jason did, and I just like
for sure. I don't think Jason was the lean push on it on that one. I think yeah.
I'll take full responsibility for that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ty. Not personal.
For real.
Yes. So I just finished talking with Susan. She said she did not really want to go, but she is breaking her heart that, you know, it's gonna be me or you because, you know, it's the original team agreed. Remember you mentioned that too, that they were together or something. So I started running the numbers and I realized if you and I vote Susan, then they can just three vote who one of us they want off because the one thing Riazzo said this team is trying to stay together. So there's no way that they're gonna keep letting Susan float because they want the numbers. So in talking to Susan, I just asked.
But see, again,
I'm
Rialzo was not in my 4. Did you ever talk to Rialzo about anything besides Jason?
Me?
Yeah, both of you
Oh
guys.
yeah, I remember Emily and me and Riazzo were like gonna start an alliance in the very beginning.
That's right. That was right.
Yeah.
Okay. What
Yeah.
about you, Don?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just kind of always talked about how strong we were, but Riazzo was always just so random. So,
Yeah,
you
then
know,
he got put on the
I
other
think for
team.
us, it was just kind of
and-
like, don't kind of give him too much. But then when he left, it's just like, what is he going to be doing? Because
Right.
he was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, when he left,
how do you deal with
exactly, yeah.
this? He's young, he's at parties, he's in the show, but he's not in the show. So it's like, let's just hope he just shows up. That's kind of was with you know, it was just
And
like
you know
Riazzo.
and that's the crazy thing about it too, is like when Ashley and I had that conversation and I had nothing but good things to say about Rialzo. Little did I know he was targeting me and Jason this entire fucking time. And I could have been like, "No, Rialzo, he doesn't participate."
Right.
But that's okay. Rialzo, I see you. See
Mhm.
you.
For like if you held the key in your hands to be able to change the vote and take the target off your back if you were willing to fight. I mean, because if you're not, I'll vote you and I'll be done. Like,
Oh, she said to take the target off your back because I told them both, you know.
would you?
Oh, sorry, Susan. What?
Yeah, I said, yeah, he was saying take the target off her back. Was she talking to Mary or about me?
Talking about you right there.
I don't know.
Is she talking about the target on your back? Like I said, Ashley is definitely in her way. I think it's maybe the teaching or the school thing. She's got the way to manipulate the
Oh,
words
heck
and little
yeah, because I'm
things
not usually
to
that
make it
goal.
like, oh well, Dom and Jason are gonna do this, Dom and Jason do that. I'm like, actually, we didn't really speak like that. Like even when I saw I had my one with Ashley, I didn't say, you know, we're getting out because I'm like, I don't know you. I'm just trying to understand who you are. I'm not gonna.
Well,
But Ashley made it so.
Yeah. I honestly like when she said like Jason, I knew Jason was like playing a game and at that point I didn't think Jason was unloyal to any of us at that point. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But when she said that about you, Dom, I was like, hold up. I was like, Dom doesn't really talk that much. So
Right.
Yeah, true.
I don't know if Dom would have said something like that. I was like,
I was just like, that is crazy. I'm like, that is not how. But she was twisting things to be like, no, they are. And I'm like, that is not our conversation.
oh God.
Who would you decide to go after? I was like, please say Jason. She said Jason, and I was like, okay. For the reasons I laid out to you, Mary, I didn't tell her this, but for the reasons I laid out to you, Mary, I'm willing to go with Jason. So I told her if she wanted to just keep saying that she's wanting to go and wants us to just throw our votes on her, I winked at her a couple times, so I wasn't gonna wink no more. But that I'll vote for her. But really, if she's willing to do it and put Jason's name down, she's got my vote, and that makes you the sole deciding factor. Either she goes or Jason goes. Oh.
Nah, bro. Mary's like, wait a minute, what are you talking about?
Feeling going into tomorrow? Any thought process, or how did you feel about the new team, new players? Anything stand out other than that craziness?
Yeah, this is very interesting. I wish Jason was still here because I'm like, why would you talk to Mary?
I know. Yeah.
What she was doing there at the end with the just vote me off stuff.
Yeah, I was I didn't know what, I was like,
I don't know if it was meant to be that way. I don't know if that was meant to throw us all off so that we wouldn't. I don't know if she assumes that we're all voting for her tomorrow because she didn't play today and that's been mentioned. And she was
That's
just
been mentioned, yeah.
so that nobody had to make hard decisions. I don't know. I don't know what the angle was there.
they were saying about how Susan was not participating and they want to have like, they prefer to have teammates who are actively participating and they were trying to get Susan to participate more. But so when Susan showed that confusion in there last night, it like the response wasn't that, oh, we're gonna vote Susan because she decided, you know, like she's already saying like just vote me out. Instead, it was just like a big round of confusion. Like
It wasn't meant to be.
but she's saying she's
Mary's like, I don't even know what's going on.
It's definitely, yeah.
She's like, what are you guys doing?
trying to be voted off to make just our decision a bit easier.
Yeah. Just don't
Our
vote me off.
made our decision much easier.
Wait, I don't want to be here, so just get rid of me. But I really want to stay. In fact, I want to work. I don't want to be here anymore. There's a lot of stuff going on there. We put in our effort. We put ourselves out there, made ourselves vulnerable to try it. That stuff matters to me. I want to know that I have somebody that's going to be there to play and want to be a part of stuff, as opposed to not playing and saying I quit or I don't, go ahead and vote me off. That's hard to listen to. So that's got to be thought about. You know, we were all there for each other. We're still learning each other and what we can do to help each other in the team. Well, are you at least liking this? Is this fun? Like, is this fun stuff? I'm having more fun with it than I ever thought I would have. I don't do a lot of computer type games and headphones and all that stuff. That's my son. He's really.
I don't like anytime anyone talks to Mary other than Ashley, like it's like a filler conversation.
Yeah.
Very, very much like, you're right. Ashley had her like kind of like through the whole thing. So it's like trying to get something from Mary. It's
Yeah.
just like,
She had her on a string the entire
Yeah.
time.
mm-hmm.
The whole
No
time,
part
probably.
would played out if Ashley and Mary were like on separate teams from the beginning.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All that stuff, but I would have never thought I was having so much fun doing this. This has been awesome.
Oh, this is great. Like
This is great.
a large part of why I signed up. I was trying to get out of my comfort zone to do this kind of
It takes a lot to make me uncomfortable, and I've been uncomfortable a couple of times.
He's like right now. Oh, secret meeting.
Hi, Tabitha.
Oh,
Hey,
that's
Jason, how's it
right.
going?
Doing good. It's nice to finally meet you in a non-competitive way.
I know, right?
I see you playing against me. You gotta be the enemy while we're playing.
Yeah. It's like we're friends. It's all good.
There you go.
But I will tell you, Ashley's very trustworthy. Like she's somebody that I do trust in terms of like moving forward if there's like more merges and stuff like that. Like she's very true to her word. Mary, I feel like Mary's trustworthy. I never really got a chance to know much about Mary. Like I haven't actually spent time talking to her. I have not ever got a one-on-one with her. She's very quiet. She's very inward. So I can't really, I'm still trying to gauge where she's at strategically in terms of like the game. She seems very, very outward. And even on our team, like she was we were trying to pull her in some forums and like have conversations with her, but it was like a no-go. Because you guys got to vote somebody out, right?
Yep, tonight.
And how are you feeling? I've never actually, I think maybe I don't even know if she was on the night that I played. Susan, I don't remember seeing her because you have Susan and then Dom.
Right.
What's your relationship like with them?
So the crazy thing with Susan is she is very reluctant and never ever she never has an interest in playing any of the challenges. She played in the very first one, but it wasn't because she stepped up and said, "Hey, I want to play." It was more so we told her, "Hey, you're going to have to play at some point. Why don't you just do the first one? Since we don't even know anything about it, just do it."
That's not true right there. I said I'd play right away. No one had to tell me that first time.
Yeah, I was gonna say that first game. I think you were the first one that
I
said
Yeah,
was,
I
I
think
was,
I was kind of like
yeah.
whatever, but I think you jumped at it.
yeah,
Yeah,
like I'll do it. I
yep,
remember you saying that.
I know.
Great, so I have a huge problem with it when we popped on to do the results.
Oh, that's what he's talking about. He's talking about from the first game when you played and then I think you got one answer wrong.
But
And
I
then
got the next one right.
I think he went 2 rounds after that, and then I think, or yeah, it was like at least 1 or 2 rounds, and then he said, "Hey, Susan, like, why don't you try this again?" And
No,
I
because
think
I got the Grinch. I got the Grinch. What is it? The Grinch that Stole Christmas with Emily.
right,
I got
and I
that.
think that was the round that he was talking about where he was like, "Hey, why don't you try this again?" Because I think even Emily
But we
mentioned,
had to. We had to try. We switched off. You know what I mean?
yeah, but I think that's what he was talking about. I'm pretty sure. We'll have to ask him when he gets in
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Say
I
that
don't know.
Susan, at the very end of it, was saying she thinks it's best that we vote her off tonight. Vote me off. You guys need to vote me off. I've been on a very long time and I've been happy and I enjoyed it, but you guys.
Do you guys think that when Tabitha was like telling him all this information, do you think she was like being sincere there?
Well, she already knew. She already knew that something about me getting voted off because she said, "Well, I haven't really met Susan." Like, you know what I mean? So she knew exactly who he was talking about. So
Right.
Ashley had probably talked to her. You know what I mean?
And
See,
honestly, and I feel like if Jason would have caught that, then he would have realized that like, hey, Tabitha, Ashley, and
Yeah.
Mary like a trio together.
that's exactly what I'm
yeah.
thinking. And this is something I would ask Jason. Now that you're hearing, oh, these, especially, I think this is when Jason could have said, okay, let me try to step back and because he could have gave us the vote there. I think he got so lost into that past peak of it, he
Yeah.
could already hear that Ashley has that much power. So if I'm thinking Jason saying that to us, he knows I'm not gonna switch, but he's probably could have said, shit, if she's that tight with them, even if we do get them and we can target them, he could have been thinking psychologically, well, what if she can just switch Susan? Because he knows now at the point, like he was saying, he was tight with Susan, but we are losing Susan, and now what is gonna happen? Who's gonna be lost? I think he got swayed in a way that
Well,
he
she
didn't
knew
see
right
that the
away.
target
Yeah,
was there.
she
Because
said it
Tabitha
right.
said it.
Yeah.
If he had the secret meeting, he could have said, yo, if they're that tight, Ashley's the one who's gonna be kind of making us moves because she's saying, look, they trust her. And it's just like, well, shit, if they got the trust of
Well,
that.
and I think like Dom, if you would have had this meeting with Tabitha, I think that would have been my first initial thought if I had that meeting with Tabitha, like, hey, these 3 must be tight because how the hell do you know so much about Susan?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like that would have been my
Especially
thought.
when she's
I
never
mean, Rita
talked.
definitely
Yeah,
would have
especially when
because
she's
I'd have
never
talked to
talked
you,
to
Rita,
him.
after that. I'd be like, Rita, this is what we're gonna do now because
Yeah, because I had never talked to Tabitha.
Yeah.
And that explains way down the line why I did what I did for that other one. Show.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's so crazy. That's interesting because it almost felt like she was being so sincere, but then it was like, but if you her words, like it was just like she's trying to get information out of him with already knowing all this fucking information. So
he already knows so much about us that we don't know so much. We didn't really know much. Even Typhon, when he kind of came through, was just like, let's get this much information, but we know we're getting him out. Because his whole thing was Bugsy and how that team was working, and then that's how we started kind of saying, okay, this is how we're going to, move in if we have this on the merge type thing.
Yeah.
Right. I know Ty said he mentioned Muggsy and he mentioned Ashley, and we didn't.
He did, yeah.
Time at that
I don't know why
point.
I don't know why that didn't. I think it kind of clicked, but I think when the wrench said, I mean, I think Susan, when you kind of threw that wrench in that you didn't want to play, I think it just kind of threw us for like well, how do we want to manage this now?
Yeah, that I hear you. I should have just like voted myself off, like really. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have went for her whatever, you know what I mean? Because that she manipulated me and I was gullible. I can't even believe it. Like I
So,
look
girl,
back.
I think you should have said Mary.
Well, I told her, I said, either you or Mary's gonna go. I said, that's what I told her
And
in
you
the
should
beginning.
have, and you should have stuck with that. You should have been like, I'm gonna make a decision to take one of these guys out. You know what? Let's
Well,
just take
I
Mary
told him,
out.
and then she said, well, no, 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 because she goes, well, if your gut's feeling that, let me tell you, you're right, because he said that, and then
Yeah,
you'll see.
but the only reason why she said that is because you said, hey, it's either going to be you or Mary that's going to be voted out. And she was like, well, let me switch this thought
Yeah,
process.
no, she definitely. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
the
you're right,
psychological part of her to flip
Immediately,
it.
yeah, I didn't think about, I was totally confused
She was
anyway.
great at. I'll give Ashley that. She was great at just doing that little subtle thing because you'll
Yeah.
get lost into the logic of it. Because the logical thing would be we have the numbers. But she's got you she got you emotionally invested into saying, listen, you're taking us out, but now I'm going to make it so that you're not even thinking about yourself. You're thinking about us. Because she was like, well, what about me and Mary? And
She
it's just
was
like, why
good.
would you have to think about me and Mary?
Exactly. Well, she was good
Right.
at like speaking to the right people at the right time. And see,
Yeah.
the thing is I'm pretty sure after Jason got voted out, Ashley tried to like sway me on your guys' side. I'm pretty sure she did try that. And like I pushed back right away because I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, we got Jason out.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, we don't fuck with y'all. Like,
Yeah,
over here.
because even during that conversation I had with Ashley, I was like, Ashley, you can trust Jason. And like that completely just went out of like her head. So I was like, well, why would I listen to anything you have to say at this point if you're not gonna listen?
Yeah. Because we knew what Mary wasn't the one who was gonna change it. Like Mary didn't have that wasn't her personality. So it's just like at that point, this is
And at
exactly what the fight is.
that point, you guys were pissed off totally at me, like you know what I mean? And I was just like,
No.
if I would have known, if I
We
would
weren't
have
mad. No, we weren't mad at you. I think I was more of in a get even state of mind. And I think it kind of just came into light that it was more of Ashley that orchestrated everything.
Oh, did you guys think that? I mean, you guys thought that really? I mean, it was more her because it was, but I mean,
How else could the vote have changed? Because
but she even told me that. She said that, hey, like I had to save Susan. Like it was like this like big, like almost like just like a detailed like script that she was like almost reading off to me. And it was like, and like I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean you had to get Susan out? Like, I'm so confused right now. And it was just like I think it's in the next episode, and that's when I was like, nah.
It's almost like she was reading from a book the whole time, really.
It was crazy.
I'll give her that. I will give her that. Textbook, some of the stuff.
We all got mind manipulated. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, like I just kept saying, like,
do you not?
Maybe she has immunity. Maybe
the only thing I can think of, Tabitha, and it's got me confused.
Who's got confused?
See, that's the other thing too, is Tabitha was, and I don't know if Tabitha was saying this out of like spitefulness. I think she was just trying to like brainstorm. She said, Susan, maybe like she has an immunity. And Jason was like, oh yeah, maybe. And she was talking about more of you in that situation, because I don't think she was talking about Ashley or Mary during that. So
right.
But
they probably told her to say that.
Yeah.
So Jason, so he knows the secret advantage.
Huh?
Bro, I don't freaking use it.
I don't understand how with everything. This is the question I wanted to ask Jason. If you had that and you knew everything was kind of nuts anyway, how do you not use it? Because that would have changed everything.
That's what I mean.
He had to know all that was going on.
That was his clue. That was his clue right there for him to be picked for to talk to somebody, and then he gave him that. Nick gave him that.
Because
I would have thought right then.
All he would have had to do, and that's what I told him from the get-go, is like all he would have had to do is like use that, banish Ashley or Mary, whichever you choose, and then talk to you guys. And then like, hey, we're voting this person out because I'm going to use my banish advantage. Like that's all.
You're right, though. Yeah, if he was confused, he should have done that. Yeah,
but I don't think he was thinking about that at that time because he was.
I think Jason went. I think he had too many conversations now. I think that's what I think it was over. I think it was overanalyzing everything. And I think that
Yeah.
even that conversation with Tabitha probably had him in a loop where it was like, I don't need to do this because and I don't know if I don't think he really thought about how much he was swaying Ashley. I think he really believed that he had Ashley's vote to vote for Susan, but I'm just like, I never saw Ashley give him like
The okay.
Yeah.
the
Right?
okay.
I
'Cause
never saw that either.
yeah, I
And
don't know
Mary,
why.
like, he did, like, there was, what conversation was that? Like, it was
Yeah.
just, you didn't
Mary
know.
was everything else. Like you said, filler and like, so the paint is drying.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Dang, James.
This is these things like advantages. Use them. That's what
Yeah.
I will say.
Quick thoughts. Now, if I think I'm on,
Listen, Dom, you and I did.
Yeah. Hell, exactly. I know we would. Like,
Yeah, you
exactly.
don't wait on one of those things. Yeah, that's like telling
You
him right
got it. You
there, like,
use it.
We
If
can't
you
talk
don't use it,
about it. I was like, we
yeah.
can't talk about it again, but we sure as hell did not waste it.
yeah,
Hell no. Hell to the no.
I would go with the that I'm unsure of,
Oh,
and I don't
man.
know where they're at or what's to happen with them. One of my newer teammates with the, but with what happened with Susan yesterday, I can't guarantee that's where my head's at.
Since I got through her ass out there like that, I really wanted her to be in the game. I was really pushing, and she was, as soon as she said that, I was like, dang, she said I really want to see you participate. And then she said that, and I'm like, well, it's almost like you're kind of pushing.
yeah, I know. I like Dawn with well.
If it did say go with somebody else, and then she still got trying, it'd almost be a double whammy. So I just kind of like,
So you haven't made a 100% decision yet, right? And I can at least talk to you.
I'm 95. I'd say I think it's got a lot.
95.
Oh, I get it.
The psychology behind that, I just didn't get it.
That's the part. So I went to bed 99% sure that our discussion tonight, and the reason I asked to talk to you is because we're voting Susan out. I've now changed that.
Oh shit.
That Susan is genuine.
He's so serious.
This is what kills me right here because he should. Damn, you know what I mean? I would have been there with you guys. You know, I would have been right there with you guys.
So we kind of know from the premises of what happens from here. But
Yeah.
I want to, is there any other final thoughts that you guys have before we switch off for tonight and wait for next week's episode? And if you guys are
Yeah.
watching or viewing, then you will figure out here very soon who gets voted out. And I'm sure based on our reaction, you can kind of tell who it was. But Susan, do you have any final thoughts? Like, do you?
Yeah, that's what breaks my heart right there. Is like he changed his mind, and now you know what I mean. That's where I was just like, oh my gosh.
Do you think
like-
that you would have done anything differently now seeing this?
Oh yeah, I would have never voted him out.
Okay.
I didn't even want to vote him out. You know what I mean? That's why I said I vote me out. I didn't want to vote him out. Didn't want to vote Dom out. I didn't really care about these other two girls. You know what I mean? But I just knew that these guys weren't going to be like the three of us. And then Jason even says in the end, he says, well, you know, at the end, he said something about like, well, it was going to be us three, but now it's not going to be us three. It's I now changed to the two. You know what I mean? So he said it right there. But I mean,
So do
yeah,
you
it's a
think
problem.
that like you would have like maybe targeted one of the other girls, or
Oh,
would you?
hell yeah, that's what I would have wanted to do from the gate. But it wasn't going to happen that way. You know what I mean? Because I already knew they were voting me out. Or Ashley lied to me and said that you know what I mean? Like
Right.
I never saw the conversation between Dom and Jason and Ashley and Mary. You know what I mean? But
Right.
but Ashley said, "Oh yeah, well he told us that way before we even played the game." Like I'm like, "Oh," you know, that's why I said, "Oh, okay."
But he didn't. I don't think they didn't even say that though.
That's what I mean. So she lied. Yeah, yeah, exactly. She manipulated me.
She twisted it and made it
Yeah.
seem they said that, and it was just
Yeah.
like maybe that
Yeah,
was
that was messed up. Yeah, that was messed up.
but it wasn't like what they verbatim said. So it was just like what the hell?
No, I would have stuck with all of us till the end. I mean, that's how I was. That's where my head was at. You know what I mean? I had really no idea that you four were even in an alliance. You know what I mean? Because I was all still saying, okay, us five to the end. Like if we split up, let's just still stay together. Like, you know what I mean? I meant all of that, so it was
Yeah.
like, and then I just was like, I better vote myself out because they're going to vote me out. Like, I'll just say, hey, you guys can just stay in the game. I'll do you a favor,
Well, I would say the one thing that I learned from the previous like seasons was to stay silent about the alliances and
Yeah,
only
see, I've never played, so you know what
well,
I mean?
I'm only going based off of the other seasons that I watched that Nick has
Yeah.
posted. And like the alliances stayed silent and it was like share information that to the people that you only want to share. And so like that's like what I learned from like the other seasons and that's like why you didn't know about our alliances cuz like
Yeah.
didn't want like the other team to try to break that up either even though Riazzo already had a sense
Yeah.
of thing. But yeah.
Hey, did you really quickly, did you watch Nick's thing with the girl that said that what she called me in that video, their reaction video, Nick's
What
reaction
girl?
video?
Which one?
The girl, the one of the girls, not the white girl on but
I haven't seen the newest one. There's another one.
I think there's another
No,
one.
I haven't seen the one today, but the one that she called me the C word and said that Jason said, "Oh, that's C." And did you see that?
She called you a C
Was she?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it on here because I'm outside. I don't want my neighbors to hear like.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
I
Yeah,
didn't hear.
I
I know she called Muggsy. You all.
No, you got to go back. She called me
like
a cunt.
Like she said something like
called
that.
me. Did you hear what I said?
She's all. That's the strong C. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember that.
I gotta see that. The
Yeah,
reaction
she
videos
said
be
that
kind of.
Jason-
They reaction videos be crazy though.
I know, dude.
They are.
They're
nuts.
like,
Yeah,
they're
and I was just
so
like, when I heard that, I was like, oh my god.
They're
That lady
unfiltered,
did not
and
say
they
that.
don't. They be talking. They be talking.
You're
Crazy.
super uncensored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
so
she said
funny
something
because
about PG. She goes PG or something, and then she said that what she said, and then she said that Jason said she goes, yeah, well, Jason said or was thinking that, and I was like, oh my god.
Oh, so she
and then Nick.
Oh, so she was saying it's like what Jason felt like because you had. Oh.
I know, but I was just like,
Damn.
okay, lady, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
has
she's
a very,
nuts.
like I think she just has like a very like unfiltered mind.
I don't know, but I
Yeah,
was gonna.
she
I can't
done said a
I
couple
couldn't comment
things.
on that,
Yeah,
At the
no,
end,
I get it.
I am gonna comment though, like you know what I mean, like that.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I
for
get
sure.
it. I get it. I think
Tell Jason.
I really think that the Alex guy has it out for me because I compared Jason to Alex. And so like the first episode, like Alex was like he was like
On the comments, yeah.
yeah, he like reverse psychology it and he was like, well, typically if you think that one player is like this and you think that maybe you're more like this. And I'm like, oh my God. And it's funny because like I honestly didn't really switch up on anyone in this whole season that I felt that I did. Like I was like very straight up with everyone in this entire season. But if you like listen to this guy, like he has it out for me, which is really funny. So I'm like, I get it. I get it.
Is there a new one? Did Nick make a new one now, or?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's on right now.
Is it? Okay, I got it. I'm wondering what they're gonna say about all this stuff.
This shit's gonna be nuts.
Dom, do you have any final thoughts after episode 4? I mean, I know we're about to get into some craziness in these next episodes.
I think, like you said, I think in hindsight, I probably would have steered Jason more than he was steering me. I think that's the one thing. I think I could have, because it felt like Jason had too many conversations going, but I think I could have reeled Jason in and say, like, hold on, Jason. We don't know these two, and like you said, we didn't even hear Typhon really tell. I think Typhon was talking so much about everything else. In my mind, every time Typhon was talking, I'm like, we're getting him out of here. So I don't think we took enough what he was saying, because I think that could have helped us in this whole situation. Even with Susan saying that, I think we could have been a little bit more strategic. I just felt like everything got a little bit just chaotic, and I think that's the only thing I felt like I could have been like, no, Jason, this is why we have to do this, because me, you, and Rita, we know we're solid. You know what I'm saying? Even if we would have chose you next round, Susan, we still was like, we could have still been so much solid, because we know. I guess we just I think part of it was maybe there was some arrogance because it just felt like we can just do what we want to do. And then, like you said, at this point, it was like me and Rita about to just start going ham. And I think that's what happened. That's
Yeah.
kinda about it.
Do you think, Dom, do you think so? Yeah, so you're saying like if you would have spoke up more, like just
Mhm.
been about it, that like, do you think that maybe you were just like lingering too much like on your thoughts of like everything and like
I
didn't
think
make
so. I think it was just kind of like you said. I think what Jason had what his thought was, and it was just
Yeah,
like
he wouldn't let anybody talk anyway half the time. Like
yeah,
seriously,
he was
you
very
know?
much like, and I'm like,
Yeah.
we have a strong alliance, and I'm thinking, okay, if Jason can sway that, I'm believing him. But I think I might have put too much belief in him on that part of it to be like, you really think you're gonna be able to flip one of them because then they would know that we'll flip them the same way. And I think
Yeah.
that was part of why I could have been like, yo, Jason, let's take a step back and say, listen, they are the other team. Like we knew Typhon was the other team. So we just need
Yeah.
to stick to this. And then if we need to, if our alliance is strong as it is, then we'll just fit. Well, then we'll have the advantage later. I think I got, like you said, got too stuck in Jason's way of kind of pushing things to where, like you said, I could have started myself to be like, hey, Jason, no, let's just get this done. And then we'll know that we'll have it because then even if, like you said, we already kind of knew Mary was kind of like the player that we didn't worry about.
Right,
And
right.
it just felt like we should have just said, well, regardless, we know what we need to do here. And that's like you said, looking back on it, it's just like, man, because like you said, Ashley had the manipulation part that I think at the time I didn't realize
Yeah.
how much she was already even in the conversation she had with me and like she told Susan about what she said, she was saying little remarks and things that where I was just like,
Yeah.
and then after that, I was just like, no, I'm, this is the target. But it was just like, I think we underestimated that. I think that was the big thing I underestimated because I think she really went on that girl power trip with you, Susan. I think she really,
Yeah, she sure did.
were
Yeah,
like,
she did.
she's
She
like, hey,
did.
those guys are just, trying to use their masculinity and all that. And I'm just like, no, she did that in a way that was just like
Yeah.
so girl
Yeah.
power.
I'm
But
wondering, and so my question is do you think that if you, Dom, you and I would have switched with the merge and Jason and Emily would have went to the other team, do you think it would have been a different outcome or do you think it would have been the same?
I think it would have been a different outcome because think about
Yeah,
what
you
that
guys
would
would
have.
have you guys wouldn't have let her manipulate either one of you.
Oh no, she would have
Hell no.
came to me for that. I would have immediately went to Susan and Dom and I would have been like, hey, like this is
This
what
is
Ashley's talking about right now, guys. Like,
Me,
she came to you guys about this.
That's exactly because I
yeah,
would have been like,
me and Dom,
if
me
we're
and
making
Dom.
this move and we're gonna survive it, then I know we at least have a like you said, we have some cohesion as a team. So if I'm hearing all of this and it's just like,
Yeah.
nah, I can hear the signs. I'm still
And we
upset that
really
Jason
never
had that
talked,
though.
Dom. And me and you really never did talk. Like, I mean, we
No,
talked,
yeah,
but we didn't
we didn't
really
really get
talk,
to really get into it, and so I'm
Well,
just
see,
kind of
that's
going
Right.
off what Jason is feeling,
Yeah.
and then next you know we're now at odds based on the
Yeah.
vote thing, but we didn't really get to talk about it because it's just like,
We
and
never
then like
really
you said,
talked the whole game, really. You know what I mean? Really.
well, and
I
then
mean,
that's the thing is like me and Ashley, like we did vibe in that first like talk, but I'm like, she wasn't part of like our team, neither was Mary. So like my automatic target probably would have been Mary before anyone else. And then like it probably, like she would have felt some type of way about that. So and like not
yeah, crazy.
purposely, but it was just like a hey, this person's not on our team. Let's just get out these people that are not on our team and let's go from there. Like, and I think that's just
How
where
did
my
you guys have 6 people and we only had 5? How did that happen?
so we had who? Riazzo, me, Emily, Dar, Tabitha, and Muggsy. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, because
and we only had 5.
right. Because remember when
first guy.
Tyson got
Okay.
voted
Yeah.
out that we had 5 then, and then so he just like stuck with those numbers, I guess.
I guess, huh?
Yeah. So
That was
great.
weird, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
there's nothing else to say, guys. Like honestly, like next episode.
Yeah, check these
I-
comments.
I really hope that Emily is present during the next episode.
That'd be
I
great.
do. Cause yeah, like I miss that girl. I want to see her beautiful face. And I also have just so many questions for her. Like I'm just like, I need to know. Like I feel like we're gonna piece it all together anyways. And I think like
Then I'm totally sucked into Ashley's whole ordeal. You know what I
well,
mean? So,
it's
like,
not
yeah.
even just Ashley though. Wait till you see Riazo on the next episode. And because if my intuition and opinions are right on,
Yeah.
the conversations that Riazo is about to have with Emily, like it just puts you in this like mind where you're just like, what what happened?
Okay, I can't wait.
Like, cause like I'm assuming he was the one that talked to her, cause she fully on trusted him. That's the thing. Like she fully
She
untrusted. And I
did.
remember we had this.
Mind
Well,
blown.
I talked to him too, but I don't know if I don't think I made any
It
difference.
looked like
in
a
anything.
teenage love affair type thing.
Well,
Like,
it was like
gotcha.
that because it was like she trusted him because of all the information he was giving her, and he was doing the same thing to me, but I didn't have that same trust for him.
oh no.
And see, this is like he tried to pull the same move on me that I think that he pulled on Emily, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm like, I cannot wait for this next episode to
Oh
come
yeah,
out
for sure.
because I'm like, I'm just so curious on how all of this orchestrated. So,
I know. I can't wait to watch all of it. Really.
but okay, guys, thank you guys for coming on.
Yeah, no, always
yeah.
great.
I will not mess up next week's schedule. I was coming on 4 hours of sleep, and so I posted the wrong link for yesterday's chat, and it was supposed to be for today. So I apologize for that. But
I looked at the thing today, the email right now, and I was like, oh, okay. And I just hit the link, and there I was. There you guys were. So.
Well, I'll see you guys. I hope to see you guys next week, and I hope to see more of them next week. I hope Tabitha
Yeah, we'll
comes.
get Dog, get them Tabitha, yeah.
Ashley, I hope you come on too, girl, because you played a crazy game, and we all
Gotta give
have
you that.
questions.
Gotta give you that. Gotta give you that.
Bugsy, I hope she comes on too. The only person that I can't get a hold of is Riazo. It looks like his email is not working.
He's probably playing basketball. I don't know.
Try to find him on some social media or something, but I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, if you have him, dude, message him because, like, honestly, like his email's not working. So all of the emails that I've been sending him have been coming back. So I've stopped. But so yeah, I'm like, if to come on too, like, by all means.
All right, guys.
All right now.
Okie dokie. Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye. I got to get off here somehow. How do I hit it? It's like, oh, it says leave. Okay.
Don't worry. Hang on one second. I'm like, wait, are we stop recording? Okay, cool.